Hey Dan, you want to grab one? I misplaced it. I'm sorry you had to hear all that, Sage. I was just looking for my Steve Weiser and then cracking open a Steve Weiser as well. It was a busy day at the Indie Game Cloud today. We had to take on Bone Mass, and you got to rehydrate after such ordeals. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have a Steve Weiser, and then we're gonna have another, and then another, So I think maybe instead of saying what and just stealing like what Stone Cold Steve Austin said, we should go with I think we could make that a thing. Sage, tell me if you agree or disagree. I don't know. I think it works. We'll work out some other little catchphrase. We already got quite a few catchphrases here at the Thundercloud, of course. I know that all day you've been waiting to hear news in the NBA. I know that you've been counting your chickens, counting your sheep, like little Bo Peep. And I've got news for you in the NBA, Sage. There absolutely is none whatsoever. Dan, you might want to transfer those Steve Weisers to a goddamn fridge. They're getting a little frosty because they're starting to freeze. But there you go, Sage. NBA has been covered. Code Red! Code Red! Alright, he already did. There we go. We're in good shape. We're on the same page, Sage. Let's get to the NFL news. I don't think there's much. I'm gonna just you guys tell me if you heard of anything while I'm kind of scrolling through here. I do hate this part of I don't know. I just kind of hate this part of the fucking season because it's it's spring. It's not spring training. It's preseason football, right? And there's just so many articles out there that don't matter. So condensing this shit is actually extremely fucking hard because a lot of this shit doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck about Shedeur Sanders. He had an okay game. He's vying for the third or fourth position on the team as a quarterback. The starter's Joe Flacco. I don't give two fucks about Shedeur Sanders. Move off of it. Just looking, looks like Alex Pierce of the Indianapolis Colts, wide receiver, was carted away from Colts practice after suffering an apparent leg injury on Sunday. Not good, but Sage is probably very happy to hear that. What happened to Cam Ward? Cam Ward do something in the preseason that I need to know about? To blah. He threw 5 for 6 passes and went 27 yards. No one gives a shit. Not talking about preseason stats, except for the Green Bay Packers. Actually, I I will talk a little Green Bay Packers here. Let's bring up the box score. They lost 30-10. It's the preseason, but I just want to see if there's any standouts during that game. Because this is all the preseason is. It's for those guys that are like, you know, they got a 91 man roster right now. 91 because we've got Christian Watson he'll be on the injured reserve or whatever the fuck it is, the pup list or what have you. So I'm really just looking at the guys like 45 through 90 and just kind of seeing where the fuck they're at. Why won't they let me fucking look at the goddamn scorecard though? Sage, I hope you draft him in the first round. You know what? And I hope that works out for you, because that would be the boldest move that I've ever seen in the history, and I mean the history, of the OJ juicery. That would be a phenomenal move to see. I mean, if it pans, I mean, that would be amazing. If it doesn't, you look like a fucking idiot. So either way, there's a win coming, right? Alright, so we're just going to go to ESPN.com here, take a look at all the stats that we can find. So let's start with Malik Willis. He was sacked 3 times. Only had a 57.2 rating. He had 4 for 9 passing, but that doesn't matter. He's already locked into our number 2 role, so Malik Willis is not going anywhere. Now, what I kind of like seeing here, this is a very small sample for each of the next few quarterbacks here. So you've got Taylor Algersma, actually from Canada. He was 3 for 4 with 24 yards, 89.6 rating. So that's actually good for him, because he could potentially leapfrog Sean Clifford. Now, I don't believe the Green Bay Packers are going to keep 3 quarterbacks, but I'm just saying, Sean Clifford was 2 for 4 with 58.3 rating. It looks like we just chose to run the ball and run the clock, honestly, because Jordan Love was in there for, you know, he went 1 for 5 with fucking 7 yards. So overall, our quarterbacks only passed 10 for 22 for 64 yards. So that's really not a whole lot. Now, running back wise, we've got 21 totes for 124 yards. So not really that bad, to be honest. The only real standout that I see here is actually Amar Johnson, an undrafted free agent here, who he's not going to make the team. Let's face it. We've got too much talent on this team. Like, we've got Chris Brooks, Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs, what's his name, Marshawn Lloyd. Those are our 4, and that's considered, if we even keep 4. I do think we'll keep the 4. So I think probably going to go to the practice squad unless someone else claims them. But that's a good showing. 7 carries for 67 yards, a 9.6 average, his longest run being 39 yards. Now, for the rest of the running backs, you've got Israel Abanikanda, 6 for 19, 3.2 average, only rushed for 6 as his longest. It's not really a whole lot to show there, but again, it's only 6 carries. You can't make too much of that. He's a guy, I think, that had huge upside. I believe he was cut by the New York Jets. So he does find his way onto our roster as depth and potentially a practice squad team. You've got Chris Brooks, 5 for 17, 3.4 per carry. Chris Brooks blocks. Chris Brooks will find his way onto this team. I'm very confident about that. Then we got a guy named Jalen White, 2 for 16. I don't think he even has an opportunity to really make the practice squad, if I'm being honest with you. Probably just going to be a straight cut there. And then Malik Willis, who of course is a quarterback, going 1 carry for 5 yards. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the comments here. Aaron Rod... Oh, wait, I've missed a few, sorry. Might be better than CMC, assuming he gets hurt again. To be honest, I'm not touching Christian McCaffrey. I'm not touching him this year, and I won't touch him any other year. I backed on him last year when he was the consensus number 1, and I took motherfucker that Jerry Jones owns. I'm not doing that shit again. I'd rather have CD Lamb or a wide receiver, or probably I'd go wide receiver my first pick, honestly. Aaron Rodgers didn't throw one incompletion or interception in week 1. It's a preseason fact. Okay. It's the preseason. Let's not get too carried away there. Go grab yourself another Steve Weiser and shut the fuck up. Sage says, I have an idea of my first pick. Probably Justin Jefferson. That's probably who your first pick is going to be, is Justin Jefferson. Oh, it's because he didn't play. Okay. I thought he might have got in for, I don't know, 5 or 6 snaps or something. Okay, well, yeah, he doesn't really need the work. He's already done the work before. In terms of receiving, now, this is going to be very hard to grade. Obviously, our starters aren't going, that sort of thing. But let's just take a look at the Packers receiving. Now, combined, they were 10 receptions for 84 yards. Will Shepard was our best receiver. 2 receptions for 20 yards. He's a guy hoping to crack onto the practice squad there. Ben Sims had a 17-yard reception. That he's probably going to make the team as our 3rd or 4th tight end. John Fitzpatrick, 1 for 17. He's a blocking tight end, so if he can kind of show that he can do that, he'll be a 3 or 4 as well. I believe we'll keep 4 tight ends, and I think we know who our tight ends are going to be. Cornelius Johnson, 1 for 9. Apparently he's been playing really good in the preseason there, but he's a practice squad guy. He's not going to make the team. Let's not kid ourselves. Same with Julian Hicks, only had 1 reception for 5 yards. He's another guy who could potentially hit the practice squad as well. You've got Matthew Golden just getting 1 reception for 7 yards. Obviously, he's going to make the team. He was our first-round draft pick, and he looks like he has been shake and baking. Sorry. Johnny Lumpkin, tight end. He's going to be hard-pressed to make the team as a tight end. He really does need to show that he can catch the ball a little bit if he wants to make it, because he can block, apparently, but he can't catch worth dick. Malik Heath, I don't think he's going to make the team. He is our best blocking wide receiver, and we do like that out of our wide receivers, but I just don't think he has that diversity. He doesn't play special teams. He's not great at receiving, so he's probably going to be a cut there. Luke Musgrave had 1 reception for fucking 1 yard. McCole Hardman, 0 receptions for no yards. Oh, these are just our no yards guys, so that doesn't matter. McCole Hardman, he'll be hard-pressed to make the team. He's not going to make the team as a receiver. He's going to make the team as a return man. Romeo Dobbs didn't play, it looks like. Isaiah Naylor didn't have reception. And Israel Abinaconda had no receptions as well, but he's a running back. So we did have a fumble by a player. Oh, never mind. McCole Hardman had a fumble which was lost. I mean, that doesn't help a guy trying to make the team as a 6th or 7th wide receiver. So not good for McCole Hardman there. Malik Willis fumbled. Doesn't really matter if we're being honest here. Let's take a look at the defense and just kind of extrapolate the stats here in a second. Before I do that, just going to take a quick look at the... you're damn right, you better shake it before you bake it. That's rule number 1 out of culinary school, I do believe. We do need diversity in our diet, so that's why when we have donair fillings, we fill them with tomatoes, onions, and donair sauce. That's what we do here up in Scotia. Now let's take a look. The defensive stats are what's actually going to intrigue me the most. I'll try not to talk about the ones that aren't like really notable. The only thing notable when I kind of look, I'm going to go special teams first, is Israel Abinaconda. He was doing kick returns for us, and he was pretty good. 29.4 average, 147 yards. So that's probably how he's trying to crack the roster over like a McCole Hardman, say. McCole Hardman looks like he might have just took a knee on the... Well, not a knee. He waved his hand in the air, sorry. Because he had no yards, and there was 2 kicked to him. Brandon McManus was 1 for 1, hitting a 46-yard field goal. Obviously, we know McManus is making the team. Can't worry about that. Daniel Whalen, pretty good punting. He obviously got some practice in. Punted for 312 yards and a 52 average, so can't complain about that. But again, it's a lot easier to punt this time of year than it's going to be in December and January. Big day for Christian Welch. So Christian Welch is a guy who could be like a 5 or 6 middle linebacker for the Packers. He plays very good special teams. He's been on the team before. He had 9 total tackles, 1 being for loss. Tyron Hopper, 8 total tackles. So he is our third round draft pick from last year, who a lot of people didn't understand why we took. That's a pretty big game for him. So he's going to make the team, but we're really looking for him to take a step up and hopefully leapfrog Isaiah McDuffie as that number 3, because you obviously got Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker as your top 2 middle linebackers there. Colby Wooden had a good game. Pretty big game when you consider, I think he's put on some pounds, so he's typically been around 274, 276. I think he's put on to about 290 or so. And I think they're trying to work him into the inside more of a defensive tackle rather than a defensive end. He had 6 total tackles, which is quite big for a defensive lineman. Against preseason doesn't mean shit. 1 being a tackle for loss, and he did have a pass defense as well, so pretty big for him. Another guy looking to crack the roster as a 4, 5, or 6 on our team as a middle linebacker is Isaiah Simmons. 5 tackles, that certainly helps him given how good he is on special teams. Kingsley Enagabare, 5 total tackles, 1 being for a loss, and 1 quarterback hit. He's a guy that potentially could get cut. I believe he's slated to make around $3 million or so this year. Wasn't very good last year. So he's going to have to continue playing very well if he wants to make the team, because if you can get similar production for less money, I mean, it's just the business, right? Katan Oladapo, he had 5 tackles as a safety yesterday, and he's definitely going to make the team. I really like our safety room this year. I think that goes without saying. Micah Robinson had 5 tackles, so I mean, hard to grade a cornerback. He's our 7th round pick this year, and he's looked very good in training camp through 12 or 13 practices so far. So that's a pretty good day for him in terms of that. I don't know if he got gouged in the past game or anything like that. Jamon Johnson has looked good for us, defensive back. 5 total tackles. I believe he's a safety though, so it's going to be hard to make it. Probably going to have to do it on not our 53-man roster, of course, unless he can really knock off, like, who's that special teamer that we got? He played good last year, Zane Anderson. He's going to have to knock off Zane Anderson. McDuffie, 4 tackles. I mean, his job is safe. Jarrett Bartlett had 4 tackles. He's not going to make the team. Omar Brown had 4 tackles. It's going to be hard for him to make the team in a crowded safety room, but he could potentially make the team. I'd say it's a long shot, more likely the practice squad, but he's showed really well so far in the off season there. I mean, Kalen King had a pass defense as well as 3 tackles. I know he's played pretty good at quarterback, but we'll wait and see. James Esther, 3 tackles, he's going to get cut. Keith Randolph, 3 tackles, he's going to get cut. Aaron Mosby, 2 tackles. I would say he's potentially going to be cut, because we're not going to carry 6 defensive ends, I don't think. So him and Gabore are probably the 2 I'm looking at to get cut. One or the other, of course. Unless they go with Oliver, of course. Corey Ballantyne, who returned to the Packers, 2 tackles. I don't know what he was, like, pass rating wise or anything like that. I do expect him to be in the mid. We've got a lot of guys in the mix for 4 through 7 at cornerback, so I think he's probably favored to make the team, but we'll see what happens. Jonathan Baldwin has been playing good. I don't know if he makes the team or not, but he had 2 tackles. It was nice to see Kenny Clark in there getting some reps. Bo Melton had 2 tackles. It's going to be hard to make the team, but he's played some wide receiver in the past. Not great. He's also looking good as a defensive back, and he does play special teams very well. So I would say he certainly is favored over a guy like Malik Heath. Baron Sorrell had 2 quarterback hits. He's our 4th round draft pick from this year. I believe he's going to make the team like 100%, but we'll wait and see. And then I'll just give you a list of like the rest of the guys that got tackles and kind of tell you if it means anything or not, because it's just one tackle. So you got Brenton Cox Jr. Last year he was very good. He had a tackle. You got Tyron Herring. He's not going to make a big deal. Warren Brinson is fighting for a job, so he does need to, he needs to bring the heat a little bit. Carrington Valentine, he's going to make the team. Zane Anderson, like I said, he's in a fight with a very crowded safety room. Extremely good special teams player, but at the end of the day, if the other guys can do it plus play better than him, you could see him get cut. Isaiah Dunn, he'll be cut. Carl Brooks, I don't think he'll get cut. Lucas Finesse, he's not going to get cut, obviously, but we need to see him take a step up. Javon Bullard, he's not going to get cut. He was, a second or third rounder for us last year? I think a second. He's our slot cornerback. And then Amar Johnson, who apparently has looked good as well. Maybe it's Amar Johnson there's two Johnsons, I don't know. One of them looks really good. I don't know which. There's so many players on the fucking team. It's extremely hard to go over. Take a quick look at the comments here. Donairs. Oh, we got Donair talk. Sage says some places include lettuce with Donairs. Thoughts on it? Sage says I'm not a fan of lettuce Donair. I haven't tried it, to be honest. Dan says Donair should be onions and tomatoes. Anything else is off kind of. To be honest, because when I lived in New Brunswick, I did get Donairs, and they had lettuce on it, and it actually went really well. It went really well. If it was like a crunchy lettuce, it actually added a bit of I don't know. It was a nice Donair. Made it seem a little healthier. And that's true about New Brunswick. Donair. Well, I know they're not known as a Donair province. We invented them, but I'm telling you, man, you get a nice crunchy lettuce with some of that sauce in there. I know you're not racist against any Donair. I guarantee you'll be scarfing that son of a bitch back. I'm glad to know, I do a full breakdown of the goddamn Green Bay Packers fucking shitty game to the New York Jets, and you guys are just talking about fucking Donairs. I was actually expecting a Donair earlier today. Instead it was Dairy Queen. I mean, love Dairy Queen, but I do like the taste of a good Donair. We're going to have to go up to Halifax and get a real Donair, though. Because, we're cheating ourselves. We got to do a Halifax run for a real Donair, in my opinion. Sage says he didn't hear a word about the Packers, honestly. Nameless says, fuck the Jets, Donairs make more people happy. They do. They really do. Because no one's happy that is a Jets fan since, 1969 or 1968. Might get rambled for nothing. Alright. I'm just seeing there's nothing else that I can see for NFL. Again, we do have to go over the Yankees next. I know Nameless might want to mute this part. I'm only going to break down the score and the fact that I was given by Nameless. They lost to Houston Astros today, 7-1. They went up against a pitcher named Jason Alexander, and they were one hit. Hence why we put a picture of George Costanza as tonight's, stream or whatever, tonight's title or what have you. There is more I'll go over in baseball, but I want to go over the scores first. I know that the Red Sox did lose as well, so that's good news if you're a Yankees or a Blue Jays fan. They lost 6-2 against the San Diego Padres, so I think they lost that series. I think they lost 2. I think the Yankees lost 2, and we also lost 2. So I don't think we lost any ground, but was not a really good series for the entirety of the AL East. I don't know how Baltimore or Tampa did. I'm guessing Tampa's not good because I think they're 57-61, right? So I'm guessing they're not doing too hot. Let's take a quick run through of the Toronto Blue Jays, who are now 4 games up on Boston and 6.5 up on the Yankees with a 69-50 record. That is still the best record in the American League. The only records better in Major League Baseball would be the Milwaukee Brewers, and that's it, who are at a 73-44 record. I don't think anyone would have guessed that coming into the year. I wouldn't have, but again, I'm not a super big Milwaukee fan. They have won 9 straight though, so look out. Milwaukee is kind of showing like that they might actually be legit. It's gonna be fun. Like, we got some really good teams out in the National League, especially. I think the American League, the teams are not as great. Like, you might have some teams with some good records and stuff, but I just think the National League's better, if I'm being honest with you. Let's take a look at the Jays, what they did in the box score. So today, Eric Lauer pitched, and he did not pitch well. He let 3 earned runs in 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 walks. That ERA is up to 2.82. That's why you can't necessarily trust Lauer as, a guy to really, like, rely on, that sort of thing. But, I mean, he's had a great year for us regardless. He had a great year. Worst case scenario, he ends up back in the bullpen, and you've got options there as well. Lewis Varlin did come in, bail him out. Looked pretty damn good. No earned runs in an inning and 2/3. Braden Fisher, 1/3 of an inning. He let a walk, but he struck a guy out too. Sir Anthony Dominguez, a walk, a strikeout. Did not let a run in 2/3 of an inning. Brendan Little, it was terrible the other night. 0 earned runs and 1 1/3 inning. Yariel Rodriguez, who was terrible last night, picked up a hold. He did allow 1 earned run in 2/3 of an inning. So good bounce back game for him. Jeff Hoffman did not have his best, I wouldn't necessarily say his best stuff today, but he blew his 5th save of the year. He walked 5 guys in 2/3 of an inning. Wade Fluharty picked up his first save of his career. That's how bad it got. He had to get 2 outs as well, so actually a pretty good effort from him. Now offensively, you got Bo Bichette, 1 for 4 with a walk, 2 runs scored, staying pretty consistent, looking kind of like his career norms now. 298 average, 808 OPS. Vlad Guerrero, I believe, had a double and a home run today with 2 RBI. Looking at a 296 average, 884 OPS. So anyone who's bitching about Vlad can shut the fuck up. I think Addison Barger also went Yahtzee as well. I think he so Vlad is his 19th of the year. Addison Barger got his 18th of the year. So still looking pretty solid against right-handed pitching. 829 OPS on the year for him. Ty France has been doing pretty good since being a J. I think we got him, he had like a 680 OPS. He's now up to a 696 OPS. 1 for 4 today with an RBI. Dalton Varsho, 0 for 2. Ernie Clement, 1 for 4 with an RBI. I don't think he hit a home run, did he? Yeah, he did. He hit a home run as well. Joey Loperfido, 1 for 2. Looking strong still. And then you got Heineman, 1 for 2. And David Schneider, 1 for 1, rounding out the day. MLB, we've got a couple things to go over here. So, first of all, I believe Cal Raleigh, I think he tied Johnny Bench for most home runs in a singular year with 45. So pretty big accomplishment for a catcher to have that much power. Expect a regression next year, though, for those of you looking to draft him in early rounds. I wouldn't. It looks like Jose Altuve hit his 250th home run against the New York Yankees. Ohtani did reach the 40 home run mark for the 4th time as a Blue Jay against the Blue Jays. I wish as a Blue Jay, but the 4th time in his career. Justin Verlander joined very rare company. I guess he had his 3,500th strikeout of his career. And I just want to see what kind of company he's, if MLB.com has this spelled out pretty well or not. So this puts him, he's 10th all time, trailing only 9 other folks. So you got Nolan Ryan with 5,714. That's a record that absolutely will never be touched. Randy Johnson with 4,875. Roger Clemens, who's not in the Hall of Fame, with 4,672. Steve Carlton, 4,136. Bill Levin, 3,701. Tom Seaver, 3,640. Don Sutton, former Yankee, 3,574. Gaylord Perry, 3,534. And Walter Johnson at 3,509. So what does that mean for him? He could realistically this year surpass Walter Johnson and Gaylord Perry, and that would put him in 8th place. I don't think he's got enough juice in him to get past Tom Seaver. He could. He'd have to pitch at least another year, though. If he pitches another year, I think he'd be able to get past Don Sutton for 7th, but Tom Seaver is going to be extremely hard to get past at 3,640. But pretty crazy to see a pitcher in our generation do that. When I was a teenager, 2 pitchers I wanted to trade for, probably 3 of them, was basically Justin Verlander, Clayton Kershaw, and Max Scherzer, and they all panned and then some. So just crazy that he's in that elite territory. One of the best to ever pitch, that's for sure. Just seeing if I missed anything. I don't believe I did. Just going to take a quick look at the comments here. Oh, there is quite a few. So, since the Donaire talk, we've got other talk. According to recent reports, after the first preseason game, Bo Melton is a roster lock. I can't believe it till I see it. I missed that one. That was earlier. Nameless says bye. See you tomorrow. That must have been when I was going over the Yankees talk. Sage says, if you had a time machine, where would you go? Sage says, I'm going back to 1971 Halifax when the Donaire first got introduced. Why not go back a little bit before that? Learn the recipe. Kill the people. Kill them. Murder them. Steal the recipe. And then you're the person that invented Donaires. That's what I would do with the time machine, Sage. Phillies are ahead of the Jays now, too. Well, I think they got 68 wins, so probably a better win percent. Sage says, brilliant. Nameless says, he's the first person to be in that Kate club and banged Kate Upton club. Okay. Let's try to keep it a bit appropriate here. We're not talking about Kate Upton and those sorts of things there, boys. Let's keep it a little appropriate. Alright. We're going to go to something I know Sage really wants to go over. And that is, I mean, it's appropriate to bang Kate Upton. She's old enough. I understand that. Donaire salad is a thing too. We don't talk shit here at the Thundercloud. We're gentlemen. So we're not going to talk about banging Kate Upton. Okay? So drop it. Just drop it. Alright. So for the second week in a row, I've been showing my playoff form. I won 16-0 last week. I did win 15-1 this week. That will propel me into first place. Sage, I hope you kept the throne warm, because I'm coming back from my throne, and I'm not leaving it. I'm not leaving that first place throne. But thanks for keeping it warm. I do appreciate the sentiment. And you guys can say, oh, you beat Graham, you did this. I only face who's in front of me. And I face who's in front of me, and I fucking kill them. I killed them like I'd kill that goddamn Donaire maker back in 1971. That's all that I do. Let's see what Sage is saying here. It's okay. It's the only thing you'll do this year. You're such a pompous jerk, man. I just get so sick and tired of you. Sometimes I just want to delete you from the league. You don't deserve to eat Donaire. I hope they spit in your Donaire the next time you get one. You just hawk a fucking loogie right in there. Right in there. Real good. Alright, the rest of the scores, though. Let's get to the rest of the scores here. We've got the Dark Sliders prevailing against Vlad the Impalers, 10-5. I'll see if I can project how that will affect the standings. I believe that Alejandro's astounding team did put a fork in bases loaded IBB. Not literally. That would be a crime. But I think there's a nail in the coffin. I think bases loaded IBB is dead. We don't have to worry about seeing Aaron Judge in the playoffs. I think that's all she wrote. Murder she wrote, even, because I think that was a kill shot for bases loaded IBB. But we do appreciate you participating. You might get a participation award at the end of the year. We do like when losers set their rosters. Don't think that goes unnoticed. We need losers in this league as well. Not everyone can be as great and pristine as myself. Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts squeaked out a win 8-7 against Annette's astounding team. Awesome team. I don't know what their names are. I get them mixed up. So, what does this mean? Well, Annette's awesome team is going to gain ground even with a loss by 2 games? Is this week the last week of the season for the Pete Rose Bowl Cut? It's been a hell of a season. It has been a hell of a season. This is the last week of the Pete Rose Bowl Cut 2025. And I will say, not just because I'm in first place, because I'm in first place every year. It's been a hell of a ride. I think it's been good adding this to doing a stream and making this a focal point. I think it's just pure genius, honestly. It makes it a bit more exciting. I feel like we get to learn a bit more as well. I mean, not everyone listens to me, and that's the problem. Bases loaded IBB wouldn't listen to me. Finds himself in 7th place to someone who doesn't set the roster. We did have a move. I did drop Ozzy Albies yesterday. He's hitting like 630. I did pick up Spencer Horowitz. Why did I pick up Spencer Horowitz? Well, he's hot, and he gets on base. Overall stat line for the year doesn't look great, but he's got a 720 OPS, can play first and second base, 335 on base percentage. They've got him leading off quite a bit, which I do like. Now, he's missed quite a bit of time, but we'll see how it all pans. But if he can do close to what he did last year and the year before, I'm okay with like a shitty player that's like a 730, 740 OPS. I'll take it as long as he gets on base, and he does. We've got Dan saying he in reply to himself. Who replies to themselves in a league because of the Miracle 2 bullshit. Are you above 500 yet? Oh, you're going to be 3 games above 500. Congratulations. I was 3 games above 500 the first game. So, congratulations. It took you, how many months is this? You got look at what? The end of March, April, May, June, July. Going on 6 months to get fucking 3 games above 500? Who are we talking about right now? 19 weeks. 19 miserable weeks. You know what would have happened if I was under 500? I quit. I don't do 500. I do first place in the league. And then I lose in the playoffs. That's what I do. You see what the comments are here? We have locked up the 2 top seeds, Sage and I, and he wants to shake my hand. You know what? I want to shake your hand after you drink a Steve Weiser. I need to hear you crack open a Steve Weiser with me. $40 games under 500, I would never let that happen. I would never let that happen. What kind of a draft did you have? You know what? I think that's a good idea that I just had in my head. I think in the offseason, we should break down what the draft was and maybe even break down what the final team looked like, and we come to the opinions of, okay, who had a good draft, and then did they get better after the draft? That would be an interesting type of thing. So for the off season, right? But we've got football season coming up. We've got it coming up. So yeah, we I think you'd start maybe with the draft process. Yeah, or maybe just do it all in one, because it would just be like a one episode, one off, just a look back at memory lane. Probably a week or two after the finals, just to kind of keep the Pete Rose relevant. I think that we should try to make Pete Rose Bowl Cut a hashtag on Twitter, or maybe even make an account for the Pete Rose Bowl Cut. I think that'd be super fucking stellar, if you ask me. We do have another move to announce. It is Vlad the Impalers dropping Dean Kramer of the Baltimore Orioles. .35 ERA, 110 strikeouts in God knows how many. It went to ESPN. I don't like ESPN. I like Baseball Reference. It's a bit more presentable to me. So he's got a 4.35 ERA, which isn't great. It's not terrible. 110 strikeouts, 132 innings, 1.277 whip. So I understand why that would be a drop there. In exchange, she picked up Brandon Pavat. I'm going to say Brandon Pavat of Arizona. 26-year-old right-handed starting pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, sorry. Interesting pickup here. A 5.02 ERA, 102 strikeouts in 122 innings, 4.5 FIP. Was she streaming? Was she streaming a player to try to pick up the win against the Dark Sliders, pulling out a move that only he would make? I think that's what happened. I think she was streaming. She's not going to keep Brandon Pavat on her team, is she? I think that was. Let me see if he pitched today. Do a little bit of investigative journalism here. We've got ourselves a streamer. 10:30 Eastern. Are you fucking kidding me? He had got the win earlier, so she did this before. Okay. Brandon Pavat pitched today, though, Sage. Are you sure? Are you sure this wasn't a stream job? Maybe she saw something in the highlights that caught her eye. I'm not really sure. So, based on what I can see from the seedings, I'll be number 1. Sage will be number 2. Vlad the Impalers will remain in 3rd place. The Dark Sliders will remain in 4th place. And I believe Alejandro's Astounding Team and Annette's Awesome Team stay in the same spot. Let's just take a look towards next week. And I just want to see what the matchups are in week 20. So week 12. The heavyweight fight. Muhammad Ali, myself, up against Mike Tyson, Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts. We've got a super fight for first place. Interesting. I might actually bench my players just so that they get the proper rest. And then you've got Vlad the Impalers up against Alejandro's Astounding Team, which I find kind of interesting because they're, positioning. They could be positioning because I would expect, I don't know, and that's Awesome Team's gonna be hard. So you got a mother versus son match to close out. So you got Dark Sliders against the Nets Awesome Team. That seems to have the most implications because really between me and Sage, it's bragging rights. Like who finished in first, that sort of thing. it's nice to see that the two top guys are fighting it out. But at the end of the day, we're getting a bye regardless. Now, and that's awesome too. I don't think she has anything to lose. I don't think there's any chance that mathematically is bases loaded IBB mathematically eliminated if he goes 16-0. Let me just check the comments here. What do you mean part of your messages are being ignored? I've read all of the messages. Oh, up above? I haven't read them in a while. Yeah, I read that you were you're 40 games under 500 back in week 9. 9-1-1 since being 40 games under. Okay, I mean, I get it. You're playing better. I get it. I don't care. 22 home runs hit this week. That's fine. Wasn't going to say anything until you were called out. I don't know why I didn't see those earlier, because those were not showing up earlier. D-backs played it for the game back a third. I mean, I don't really see what good it does you to finish third. I think all the matchups are kind of even. In fact, if Mom remains in 6th place, which she's most likely to, she might be one of the scarier teams to play because she got like 4 of my players. So finishing in third might be a death sentence as well. A 3-week break, we could do that. So Sage will have to whoop my ass to reclaim first. Your mom would need to go 0 for 16 for him to leap. Mom had just hit 17 home runs. She's got depth. That's why I made the trade with her, is because I needed to unload depth and she needed to add it. That's why trades happen. Sage says your mom is the team to watch out for, I think. Well, I think she had such terrible depth that, like, she had to make that trade of Aaron Judge or she was done. I'm pretty sure she would have been done if she had Aaron Judge and then 3 other scrubs. If you get third, you face Mom. Mom is the 6th seed. Unless Zal miraculously comes back. 3 goes against 6. 4 goes against 5. So you actually don't want third necessarily. And it's kind of funny that if you look at the matchups, it's you versus Mom in the first round. Most likely that is going to be, in my opinion, that's probably going to be the matchup I would expect. Would be a 3 versus 6. And then Vlad the Impaler's Alejandro's a standing team. That's also going to be a first round matchup most likely. So it's very possible that the teams we see playing between, obviously me and Sage will have buys. Bases loaded IBB and Graham's great team died. And then those 2 matchups that we have to end the week are going to be the ones that are the playoff matchups as well. I do believe. I don't think we should be allowed to bench. I actually think if you bench in the final series, you should lose five wins. I don't want any benching going on. I want a competitive league. You gotta treat it. No, we gotta keep playing. We're not benching for this stuff. Sage will check every day too. Sage will just set your roster for the week. How's that sound? No, let us shake out the way it shakes out. I know I'd want to finish higher in the regular season anyway, just so it's like... You value bronze more than gold and silver. I don't want to call you an idiot on live stream, but if you actually believe that, You might need to go to the doctor and get your brain checked. It's either gold or it's mold, in my opinion. So that's all I got for you. I'm trying to do the math, though. Let me just do some math here. I just want to see if bases loaded IBB is mathematically eliminated. Sage says, I'm so glad Nameless and... oh my god. I'm so glad Graham and Nameless play this week. The toilet bowl isn't ruined. Okay. I think Nameless is just crying. His Yankees lost today. They got one hit by George Costanza. And now you're just calling it the toilet bone? Well, we've got some sort of... what's this? Some AI overview being sent in here? Bronze is known for its hardness, strength, and resistance to corrosion, especially saltwater corrosion, making it suitable for marine applications, ship fittings, and propellers. You building a ship or something? I'm going to need another Steve Weiser after that. I don't know. Talk to us about gold and silver. Let's figure out which one's the best. You got to hit me with the AI. Tell me why gold's not the best. Let's see what silver's known for. It is a huge implication week. I think it needs to be monitored, and we cannot. And I mean, I'll be setting my rosters. Why wouldn't I set my rosters? I don't need to set my rosters, but this league has integrity. It was built right integrity firms, for fuck's sakes. Every seed is on the line. You're damn right. You're damn fucking right it is. There's a lot at stake. All I know, Sage, is I'm going to whip your ass. And I'm glad it comes down to one-on-one with the great one. I can't wait. I can't wait. I came out clutch the last 2 weeks. I am 31-1 in my last 2 weeks. You want to talk about run differential? I'm going to be at... how many wins am I going to be at? 181. We didn't quite meet our goal of 200, but we'll get there next year. We do have a series of moves to announce. Dan, can you grab me a beverage? Because Bases Loaded IBB has picked up a couple players. He has added Kerry Carpenter in favor of Corbin Carroll. So I need to look this up and see what's going on here. Dan, can you grab me a beverage, please? Patrick Corbin, 3.91 ERA. Pitching for Texas now. I remember when he used to pitch on Arizona the most. I don't think he's been quite the same since. This year, he had the most hits against him in 3 years in his career, so he lets a lot of hits. I will read those very shortly.
Very important information.
96 strikeouts in 112 innings, 4.12 FIP, 1.3 whip. Okay, I can see why he's dropped. Not saying he's necessarily good or bad. I mean, good in real life this year for sure. Other years, not so much. He's also the league leader in earned runs 3 times in his career. So we're going to move off Patrick Corbin. Looks like a good drop there. Kerry Carpenter of the Detroit Tigers. What has he been up to? He's actually been looking pretty damn good. Wow. How did this guy fly under the radar? 829 OPS, 20 home runs, shitty on base at 294, but a 535 slug. Last year, a 932 OPS in half a season. Interesting. Compelling and rich. That's a good pickup right there, in my opinion. Let me just take a quick... And this is what I'm talking about right here. Even though bases loaded, IBB is drowning beneath the sea, he's still fighting. He's still fighting for his life right now. Davis Martin of the White Sox was dropped. He is a starting pitcher. I have no idea about Davis Martin at all, and if you do, well, you're probably a fucking fan of a shitty franchise known as the Chicago White Sox. 4.11 ERA, 68 strikeouts in 96 innings, so not a great strikeout per 9, and a 1.3 whip. 28 years old, so probably not a huge upside there. So probably a good drop, but I do want to see the player that was picked up. Tajon Walker, former Blue Jay at one point in his career. 3.53 ERA this year, 4.15 career, 60 strikeouts, 79 innings, 1.3 whip. Yeah, I'd look at that as an upgrade, especially he could probably get you, although he's only got 4 wins on the year, he could probably steal a couple wins down the stretch, I think, too. Not that wins matter for a pitcher. Hard to believe it's been fucking 5 years since he was on the Jays. That's crazy. Then he went to the Mets for 2 years, now the Phillies for 3. It's hard to believe, half a decade since we had him. It does not make any sense to me, if I'm being honest. Alright. I'm just going to refresh my page here in case another move has been made. Alright, I'm going to read the comments now. So, okay, we already went over the bronze. We're going to monitor it. Also, get your ads in this week because playoffs start. The ads will be emergency basis only. That is correct. Each medal, bronze, gold, and silver, has its own distinct advantages and disadvantages, making them suitable for different purposes. While bronze excels in areas requiring strength and corrosion resistance at a lower cost, gold and silver are prized for their rarity, electrical conductivity, and a wide range of applications. Sage says he was hurt for a while. He was a proud Shagwire till he got hurt. I believe he was talking about Kerry Carpenter. And Dan goes on to say, I'm slow when I start fantasy sports. Well, you're lucky we don't live in a world... Well, you still would have made the playoffs this year. But top 4, and I would go top 4 make the playoffs in a real league. We do this for fun. We do this for charity. But I still play for keeps. But in a real league, you would not have won probably any championship except last year. And I will hang on to that until the day I die. Alright guys, I don't see any moves coming in. Everyone set your roster this week. Do not fuck around. As Sage said, he will be monitoring everyone. And I do mean everyone. The Pete Rose Foundation does get a ton of money from us. Absolutely. Oh, you're saying gold's the best. Yeah. I get it. You think you're going to be a 4-time winner. I can't wait to shut you the fuck up. Bring you on the first round. Oh wait, you'll have to go through Sage to get to me. Because I'll most likely be number 1. I could probably let them know, yeah. Yeah, I probably should. Remind me tomorrow, though. Just in case I forget. Dan, those beers are not in a fridge. I can tell that now they're losing their oomph. They're too warm now after being frozen before. Those need to be in a freezer, a fridge freezer, not a deep freezer. But now they need to go deep freeze. And some people don't know how to freeze their beer. It's unbelievable. Alright, Sage, did I miss anything? Nameless, did I miss anything? Dan, did I miss anything? Anyone else who's loitering, have I missed anything? You guys are going to hate what's going to happen soon. Alright, well, we're going to put a stamp on this this little letter here. Get the pigeon carrier to take care of business, and we're going to call it a wrap. You missed my foot up your okay. You know, you'd have the right to say foot up your ass if you were actually winning, Nameless. But I don't even think you're going to be able to beat Graham's great team. I don't even think you can win the toilet bowl. I don't think you're going to win the toilet bowl. You're not even going to be the most polished piece of shit in the Pete Rose bowl cut. It's a promise. It's a promise. I think so. I ain't betting money. I've got enough to lose at my Bellotro run. I will take your advice and try to go with a lot of chips jokers and see what happens. When I had my most historic run that anyone in Bellotro has ever done, I did it with malt. But my malt was that damn good. Also, I had my York Joker up today to about a 24. 20 fucking 4 is what my York Joker was at today. You want to talk about moving the needle, setting trends? Talk to me in fucking York here, okay? That's all I'm going to say about Bellotro. And on that note, I will go into a plasma run, potentially a painted deck run as well, as I am closing in on greatness yet again in a different realm of my life. That being, I will almost have every Bellotro whatever conquered. Everything in Bellotro except for the stamps on the jokers, and then I will get those a couple months later. If you guys haven't hit the like button, you've had an hour and 3 minutes to do so. So please hit the like button, even if you are playing in the toilet bowl. Especially if you are playing in the toilet bowl, because you could be facing relegation if you don't hit the like button when your team is that damn bad. You're personally offended, you're triggered? Well, you can leave comments after the stream and say why you're personally offended, and someone from our HR team can reach out to you on a future basis, okay? That sound like a plan? I'm sorry that you guys could only get one hit against George Costanza. I'll offer you a new TV. I already offered you a 13-inch Insignia television. It's yours if you want it. I'll send you out a fucking Insignia right now. 13-inch. State-of-the-art. Comes with a DVD player, too. You can expect it to be delivered by Canada Post, though. So you might be waiting. You might be waiting a little while. But it's already in the warehouse here at OJ's Juicery. You'll get your television when you get your television. Is there anything else I could do for you today, Nameless? Alright, well, thank you for watching the Thundercloud. Y'all go fuck yourselves.